between the blue lines there. I'm going to brag on you for a second, embarrass you a little bit. Yeah, so I apologize. I didn't change the slide. It is CIA. Okay. Jared Hampton. Let me tell you a little bit about Jared Hampton. Jared Hampton walked himself into my advanced drama class back in the fall and had never done anything with theater before. And I really saw something I thought very special in this guy when he came in. Never, ever does it cease to amaze me how many times I meet a senior in the last year of their life who I Sorry, I do obituaries on but in the last year of their life here at River Ridge, and literally a kid who I've never even seen, like I don't think Jared and I had ever even crossed paths in the hall at any point, even at ball games, at football games, during pep rallies, or just me standing out in the hall, yelling at kids to go to class or something. And he just pops up out of nowhere, and he's just got this amazing talent in class, and every time we get up on stage and do the smallest little skit or an improv or whatever, he's just got all this energy and life in him. And he comes out for spy school and just blew me away with his ability. And he came into a program that was already very established that year. Drama's very cliquey, and kids get in there and they kind of go off in their little pods, and they don't really get out of it a whole lot. And it's very cliquey. And he walked right in knowing that the little cliques were there, and he just walked in and just put it on the table. And then he came out in Bye Bye Birdie and had never done a musical before. Came out and obviously captured one of the big roles and gave a stellar performance. And all the charisma that you saw on stage in Bye Bye Birdie, this guy's got without Conrad Birdie being attached to him, or without a microphone, or without a stage. He's every bit of what Conrad Birdie wishes he were, and he just sparkled on that stage. So for his 2 productions that he did, I just wanted to highlight the fact that he walked in and did this with no thought forward about, wow, what am I diving into here? How deep is this water I'm wading into? Kevin Ralph, same thing. Kevin walks into the exact same class as a freshman, comes in and shows up for the audition for spy school. Again, Kevin's a first-year student here, so he's moved from out of state. He's having to re-evaluate his friends. He's having to renegotiate all of his peer interaction. He's having to find a new place to sit at lunch. He's really got a lot of things stacked on him that 14-year-olds, moving to a new school have to deal with. And he walks in again to this very cliquey group, and he walks in and just blew me away with his performance in spy school. And then, of course, he walks in and captures lead on Bye Bye Birdie and just did the best Albert I've ever seen. I think his Albert was better than Dick Van Dyke's, or better than Jason, what's his name?
George Costanza.
Sure. Lance Ellison. Even though Lance technically has never auditioned for a show here, he kind of has, but so it was weird in the timing of how it worked out. Same thing. Lance walks in again, a kid who is new to the school, new to the whole city. I think new to the state, right? I mean, just moves in from up north.
Russia.
Yeah. Yep, he's from the state of Russia. But again, he walks in out of nowhere and delivers this student body president character, and then comes out and does, really helps us out of a huge jam, because we had a character in the original casting who wasn't able to fulfill the show commitments because of other stuff going on, and really came in at a time, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but male actors in our theater program are not aplenty, and having one who goes and not having anybody to dive into the spot on my end is terrifying, because it's like, all right, well, which girl can we put in a wig? Poor Katie Queen, she played more guys on stage than any girl I know. Yeah, Kenny did it her junior year, played a male character. And so immediately my brain starts rolling, what am I going to do? And then all of a sudden Lance walks in and shows up and just did. It was so funny when he comes in, he's like, I don't know if I can do Harvey Johnson because of this voice cracking thing, and he did got it and was able to just, I mean, do it on command. And then he created his own variety of a way to exit the stage, which has become legendary, subtle as it is. And was just captured. Every time he came out on stage, I just couldn't help but just watch what he was doing. Even if he was coming out to do that train whistle thing, especially when he got it hung in his pocket, and he still blew it while it was in his pocket. My back won't let me do it, but he somehow got his mouth to his pocket. Because it was hung on the inside of his pocket. It was amazing. Jessica Keeney started out with this last year, but wasn't able to do the fall production, again, because of other commitments and time constraints. But again, comes in and then captures her biggest role as Natasha Sparrow in Spy School Story. And then to top it off, on top of that, has to do one of the most difficult things an actress can do, and that's put an accent on in live theater. So not only is she having to try to project her voice and get it out there so the back row hears it, but she's got to do it with a Russian accent on top of it, which is not one of the easier accents to do. And so every time she would come out here and do this, I was just captivated by how much she was putting into it and just how if I had young thespians, especially like middle school kids, looking up at how are you supposed to do and what are you supposed to act like and how do you know if you're doing the right thing, that was just another example of how it's supposed to be done. And Casey Farmer. Once again, Casey's first productions with our program happened this year. Casey's been in my drama class for a couple years, and I've seen her do Mary Poppins, I've seen her do Wicked, I've seen her do some really amazing classroom performances, and sit at home scratching my head going, why does this kid not show up for drama? I'm thinking to myself, what does she do after school? Is she like got horseback riding lessons, or she in sports, or is she, I don't know what she's doing, she got a job, what's going on, why is this kid in here? And finally, she walks in and shows up and comes out for Spy School, also in Bye Bye Birdie. And the same thing, this kid brings the nicest personality you can imagine onto the edge of the stage. And then when she gets on stage, she just turns into whatever she needs to turn into. And then when she walks off stage, she's right back to being just good old, nice, friendly, easy to talk to Casey Farmer. She played a character in Spy School, which was the exact opposite of her actual natural character, which again, is to stretch in that moment and be able to do that and to willingly do it and then to put into it what she put into it with everything from the costume to the accent that she put on the character to just the attitude and the movements. Everything that these five did, they came in here and they did it for the betterment of the program, and most of them did it just kind of flying blind. They just sort of walked in and like, all right, I'm here, I want to drama. And so they came in and they drama. And so that, in my opinion, creates what I refer to as an exemplary thespian. If I could take a picture of these guys and their performances and put it on video and show it to next year's freshmen walking in the door, if we could get 5 more of them to come out and do what these guys did, then we'd have one more heck of a program for next year. So, without further ado, I'm going to give them their trophies, but please give them a big round of applause as our exemplary thespian.